All right, day number 50. 50 days down. Tell you, it's been a journey so far. But up a little bit on the scale today. I was watching Cole's live today there, and he was talking a lot about the scale. So we'll have a little chat about the scale now later on as well. Yeah, so I was 214.7 today. Up from 213.5, which doesn't really bother me at all, to be honest. Obviously I'd like it to go down every day, but it's not going to go like that. But so I had a good bit to eat yesterday, or probably the wrong type of foods for weight loss, I'll call it like that. But I got up in the morning and had a bottle of orange juice with snake juice. We ended up going out for something to eat. We went to an Italian restaurant, probably the worst place in the world for me to go if I'm losing weight. But I kind of kept it under control anyway. I had chicken with a mushroom sauce and some spice, or tomato sauce with some spices, and potatoes, roast potatoes with a little bit of salad. And I ended up eating some of Killian's spaghetti bolognese because he couldn't finish it. Yeah, and just had a glass of water with that, and that was fine. That done me for the day. Last night then there was half a bag of banana chips. Like I think they're sweetened as well, but they're dried, and I give them to the kids sometimes for school. Just it's handy for them for a snack. So I had a half a bag of them, and I had a half a bottle of apple juice and some snake juice as well. And I was 1.2 pounds up today, which wasn't bad. It wasn't bad really anyway. But I feel like if that was a week ago, I would have put on a lot of weight, because I was after dropping down 30 pounds, and I think my body has settled at that now, and it's looking to go down more if I let it, kind of thing, if that makes sense to anybody. I think Cole was doing a lot of talk about the weighing scales and listening to your body, and which is totally right, I think, to listen to your body. Now, it's not always easy. I don't always find it the easiest. I think women can listen to their body far better than men. Maybe that's a total sexist remark altogether, but I think women could be more in tune with their bodies for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, he was basically on about the scales, throwing the scales away, and just keeping the fat to the floor, and throwing the scales away and breaking the scales with a hammer, he was on about, and throwing the scales away and just keeping the fat to the floor, and protein, and prioritize protein. He was saying there today as well that the reason he says the sugar fast is dead is because you have to prioritize protein. People weren't prioritizing protein. They were just going for the carbs, for the sugary carbs, and cutting out protein and fat. So obviously the leaner you get, the more protein you'll need. Now, protein hasn't been a problem for me since I've started this. I haven't craved protein. Like I have protein at least once a week, maybe more some weeks. But I have never craved protein because I'm not at that stage yet. I'm not down enough yet to, I think anyway, to crave protein. But that's the reason everyone is going on about the sugar fast is dead. For me, the sugar fast isn't dead yet anyway. Maybe it will be down the road when I evolve or whatever, I don't know, but definitely not now. What the sugar fast means to me, or the sugar diet means to me, is not to be afraid of carbs, number one, but especially not to be afraid of sugary carbs in the absence of fat. always in the absence of fat. Like, this sugar diet is the number one thing for me, is the absence of fat. Then if I need protein, eat protein, because I want to keep as much muscle mass as I can. I think that's why Cole is saying the sugar fast is dead. For people that weren't prioritizing protein. And there again, he's only trying to do it so people won't do harm to themselves. But I think if you're aware of, for me, I feel what he's saying, what I pick up from it is that low fat diet with prioritizing protein when you need it, or listening to your body, and then the carbs will look after itself. It has always been healthy carbs for me, whole food carbs, as in like always with the absence of fat. That will always be my thing from now on. If I'm eating carbs, I'm going to keep it as low fat as humanly possible. The likes of pastries, chocolates, just fatty carbs are the ones that do the damage to me, and I'm sure do the damage to most people. So when I say sugary carbs, as in fruit or even table sugar or even syrups or honey or berries or just like smoothies, we'll say, or whatever, good healthy carbs, they're the carbs I like. But I'm still not afraid of minerals, pop, or sweets, even low fat sweets, all low fat. It's all low fat, as long as you keep, as far as I'm concerned, keep the fat to zero if you can. It's the sugar diet for me. Now, like this week, I am going to go on the sugar diet, or a sugar fast, whatever you want to call it. Predominantly, I'm going to be drinking juices, smoothies, and fruit. And veg, maybe, if I feel I would like to eat veg, or if I feel I need protein, lean protein. But this week now is going to be the sugar fast for me. I've lost a lot of weight with it so far, and it's still working for me, so I'm going to keep it going. Like Cole was saying himself there, this type of eating, the type of eating I'm after explaining that I do, is gold dust, because it works, and I'm going to keep doing it until it does work. The other diets are the information I had got with the last 20 years really about eating healthy or eating a good diet or trying to lose weight was always low carb. That was just what the information I have had found on the internet, and from maybe talking to most people, it's always was low carb. And it's just, there is not that I know of. I've done prolonged fasting with low carb. I've done intermittent fasting, low carb. I've done keto, obviously it's low carb. None of them are enjoyable. I have never got enjoyment out of eating that way. With fasting, I have gotten enjoyment from complete absence, maybe just black coffee or water or snake juice, because I think the fasting, I felt good when I fasted, because it felt like I was cleansing my body from any of the crap that's out there nowadays. And if you're not putting anything into your body, at least there's nothing harmful going into it. Because for me, like, and I'm sure a lot of people are like this, there is so much chemicals and toxins and dyes and everything in food nowadays. It's so hard to figure out. Like, you know, even when it came in with the low fat, and then they put in sugars, and the sugars in the low fat stuff usually were dyes, or they weren't sugars, but they were sweeteners, which was even worse than table sugar, like that. So it's so hard to know what to eat. There's so much different stuff out there. That's why I'm trying to keep it to just whole foods, with whatever it is I eat, just with whole foods. But the reason I love this way of eating and I love this diet is because I can eat carbs. I can feel energy. It helps me sleep. It helps me concentrate better. It keeps me calmer. It doesn't release as much cortisol. Now there is one point I like to make about, now I definitely am no fitness expert or health expert or anything, and someone was talking about cortisol, and like, I have never measured my cortisol. I'm just taking it intuitively, so anything I say is just what I feel happens to me. I could be wrong or it could be right. I'm just going by what I feel happens. So I feel with fasting or keto or any of those low carb diets, my cortisol seemed to be a little bit higher. I just have that feeling that it was. But when you're able to eat carbs and healthy carbs, you have high energy. You're not as anxious. You're not as reactive. You're much. I'm much calmer. I can sleep much better. I'm going to put up a few of my markers that I track with the Whoop. The heart rate variability is meant to be one of the best ones you can track, and Whoop is as accurate as you can get, I think, as far as I know, and that has gone up 25% in the last month. From, like, I'll put that up on one of the posts one of the days. My resting heart rate is now around 48, 49. My blood pressure is 100%. It's perfect. My resting heart rate used to be always around 54, 55, which was even good for that. But since I've been on the sugar fast or the sugar diet and eating good carbs and keeping low fat with moderate protein, all my markers have been improved 25%, you could say, which over 1 month is an amazing thing. And I believe, again, I'm not an expert, but for me, I believe the sleep I'm getting, I looked at my sleep and the quality of sleep, as in deep sleep and REM sleep. I'm getting exactly 33%. I used to get in or around an hour and a half of REM sleep and deep sleep every night. Maybe a bit lower than that, but an hour and a half, you could say. Now I'm getting up on 3 hours and a little bit higher than 3 hours. That's double of quality sleep that I'm getting in the last, I'd say, 3 months. Not just the last month, but I'd have to say in the last 3 months. And with that, for me, all my health markers are increasing with that, and the way I feel is increasing. Obviously, and above anything that I haven't even mentioned is the weight loss. I'm still able to lose weight, eating healthy as far as I'm concerned, and losing weight and enjoying my food. Like, there would be no Italian restaurant if I was on keto or if I was on fasting or whatever else, or like, there'd be no eating out. I've ate out plenty of times since I've started this, and enjoyed my food and had plenty of energy, like I've said. And I've lost 30 pounds with doing that, which is unbelievable. For me, it's unbelievable. I call it the sugar diet, sugar fasting, whatever anyone else wants to call it, that's fine. But for me, it is really a game changer, and I cannot be thankful enough, number one, to Cole, number two, to a few more people like Mark Smelly Bell. I find him very good. He's very knowledgeable. Like I said, I don't follow anyone just because they have a name or whatever. If I feel that they're being genuine and they're good information, I'll of course listen to them. And I listen to Jurian Ryder, Mark Smelly Bell, a few more, and all the little channels that's on for the sugar fasting channels. Like, that has helped me so much. I'm grateful to all of them. I'm definitely grateful to Cole, because Cole is the number one that I listen to. And you have to just read between the lines of what he says. Like, this is what I have picked up from him, and it has worked for me. So even, who cares if the name is changed, or if it changes 20 more times in the next month. I don't care, honestly. I'm just glad I'm getting good results and that I'm feeling healthy and feeling good. I will always keep I'll always keep an eye on my health, because I've always done that anyway. So if I feel this is an unhealthy way of living or an unhealthy way of eating, I'll be the first one to stop it. But so far so good, I have to say, for me. And thank you everyone for following me from the beginning, and like subscribing and liking and commenting and all the good advice, good and bad. Well, there's been no bad advice. I like to take people that don't take on board the sugar fast at all, and they add a few comments, maybe negative comments, but I read them as well, and I'll say, is there any merit to that, like, or is, you know, should I take heed of that? And if I think I should, I will. If I don't, I won't. But yeah, so it's been a great little journey for me so far, and long may it last. I'm looking forward to getting good results all the way right down to my goal weight and maintenance with the sugar fast. So I hope you keep supporting me and keep subscribing and liking, because I really appreciate it so much. And we'll see you here again tomorrow.